Okay, now let's talk a little bit about just setting realistic expectations, things of that nature. So let's come over here. Okay, so if I take one step from the hole, I'm about 3 feet away. On tour, from 3 feet and in, they're going to make this like 99 out of 100 times. So like from 3 feet and in, we need to make these putts.
Even on sliders, hard sliders downhill, they make
they're making them a lot more than they miss them, like 98% or more. Like
as soon as I get a slider, I'm shaking. If it's a fairly straight, maybe a little break, I can do it. But sometimes you got those heels and it's sliding and it's like 4 feet.
It makes it hard, no doubt. Okay, now if we take 2 steps, now we're about 6 feet. On tour, they make 75% of these.
So you got to hit that.
Yeah, well, so you would like making 3 out of 4 of these would be elite. Okay, now if we go to 10 feet, they're only making 33% of these, so 1 out of 3. Just to give yourself a realistic idea. So if you're making 1 out of 3 from 10 feet, really good. 3 out of 4 from 6 feet, really good. Then 3 feet and then we can't be missing those. So
I was trying to make this 70%. That is realistic.
That's unrealistic. That would be that's like the best putter in the world. Like the number 1 putter on tour probably makes this like low 40s, maybe like 42, 45% of the time. That would be like the top guy.
But here's the problem then. I'm never my wedges in on a par 4 are never inside of 10. Sometimes
so that's the wedge's fault, right? If you're missing 14-foot putts, you can't blame yourself. Because the tour guys are too, just to give you an idea there. So obviously your goal when putting is the 2-putt, right?
Right.
And if we know with inside of 3 feet, we got to make those putts. Yeah. So that means our first putt's got to be somewhere within 3 feet. So in terms of controlling speed with lag putting, here's a drill that you could play around with.
Okay.
So we're going to give you 1 foot past the hole. We're going to go 10 feet back.
3 steps?
Yep. So 3 steps plus like a little bit. So you're going to give yourself 1 foot of error for every 10 feet of putt. So you're going to get 3 in a row that make it to the hole, but come up short of this stick. And then once you do that, then you'd go back to 20 feet, and then you're going to give yourself 2 feet of room. And then 30 feet, then 3 feet of room, so on and so forth. So I would say that's a pretty realistic goal.
Okay.
1 foot of air for every 10 feet. And you want to put it fast enough to where it makes it there, but not so fast where you got a long putt coming back.
Right.
Now from like 50 feet, if you come up 2 feet short, then we're like, yeah, good putt.
We're
not worried about getting that to the hole necessarily.
Gotcha.
Now let me see you roll a few of these, just so I can see your stroke on something a little bit longer than just.
Don't line it up. Don't worry about no break or nothing.
You don't have to worry about a line.
It's kind of straight a little bit.
Just more speed. I just want to see the rhythm of your stroke, making sure you're doing nothing goofy. And these greens are slow.
Oh, they is.
Yeah,
they always been slow.
It depends. I mean, you got to consider it's a driving range, so they're not gonna,
Okay, then. So we just.
So I'm sure that you'll have to take a few putts to kind of readjust.
I got it now. Once I saw that.
Very nice.
So this is 10. It's not. I wasn't too far off on that one I missed.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna still stick with my 10, but I'm just gonna put a little bit more effort, more energy behind it. At least that's what I'm thinking.
Nice. And basically, what I'm looking for is to make sure that your stroke is equal length on the way back, equal length on the way
and that's what that putt Matt was teaching me.
Exactly. I mean, you're doing that pretty good, so I like what you're doing there.
Oh, what happened there?
So it hit something. It kind of like hopped. I don't know if you saw that.
Something was weird.
It wasn't a very clean roll, but this is a drill that you could grind for like an hour, right?
Yeah,
you could
for
do
sure.
10, 20, 30, 40. You could do it uphill, then you could do it downhill, so you can kind of feel the difference in speed between up and downhill, things of that nature.
Is this about 10 here?
Probably, yeah, I would say so. It's got to be somewhat close to that.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah. Now, as a routine, I think this would be something for you to experiment with.
Go ahead.
So when you do your rehearsal strokes, or when I do mine, look at where my eyes are. I'm looking at the hole,
not
right?
the ball.
So when you do your rehearsal strokes, don't look at the ground, look at the hole. So your brain will make the connections of how far you are away. Just like if we were to play catch, dude, just by looking at you, my brain would automatically tell my arm how fast to go to get you the ball, right? It's not like you're going to tell yourself, I got to accelerate 2 miles an hour to go 7 feet, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Like you're just using your general athleticism, general feel. So when you do the rehearsals, look at the hole, let your brain make those connections, and then when you go to roll it, line up the ball with the center of the face, that's when you actually have to look at the club and the ball, and then peek the hole again and then roll it.
Gotcha.
Is that kind of making sense?
I like that. I like that. I can feel that.
Yeah.
Because I can be like, oh no, that's too jabby. That's gonna be too much.
And your brain will make the connections of how much effort it should give.
Okay.
Very good putt.
Sweet. So drill this out for a couple hours, and
Yeah.
and this will just help me with what? This will help.
This is
drill.
going to help you. So this is going to help you with speed control.
Got it.
Right? Training how much stroke is going to equal 10 feet, 20 feet, 30 feet, 40 feet. So then when you're on the course, say you're putting from here to there, you could pace it off. Let's say it's 35 feet. Well, you've already hit the 30-footer and the 40-footer on the practice green.
Right,
so
right.
you kind of have an idea of how much momentum to give it instead of just going out there and guessing, you know.
Well, what's that?
Yeah, so 36 feet.
You knew that already by
Yeah.
looking at it.
Yeah, I mean, that was a pretty lucky guess, but yeah.
All right, so 30. But then here's my thinking. It's uphill a little bit, so I got to give it a little more energy.
Yeah, so let's kind of switch gears, talk a little bit about green reading. Now that you have an idea of like
Let's do it.
a way that you can work on speed control. And speed control is really just effort. There's no like faking it. There's no skipping steps. It's basically just putting in time to learn how much speed is going to equal how much rollout based on how fast the green is. And obviously, course to course, the green speeds change.
Right.
So you got to calibrate to wherever the hell you're freaking playing.
Right.
Okay, now let's talk about how to actually read greens and kind of the process there. So
My favorite part. Let's go.
So let's go from here to there. Okay.
Oh man.
So when you read a putt and it's your turn to go, you have roughly 40 to 45 seconds to like read it, line it up, and go. That would be kind of like the general etiquette. Like if you were in an official tournament, that's how much time you'd be allowed to have. Okay, the first thing you got to figure out is the elevation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk halfway in between the ball and the hole, and I get low to the ground, and I want to find the high point and the low point. So I see the high points up there, and I see the low points down there, so I know I'm going uphill. And this was super obvious, right? So when it's this obvious, you might not have to check it from the side.
Okay.
But sometimes the architects will try and confuse you. Like it might go uphill and then back downhill, or vice versa. And in those scenarios, if you're not 100% sure, check it from the side. And then for the right to left and left to right, get behind the ball, directly and left your target, and same deal. Find the high point and the low point. So the high point, you would say, is probably like, what, 4 feet right of the hole?
I see that hump over there.
Yeah, so that's the high point. The low point's over here.
Right.
The putt will always break towards the lowest point. So you're going to aim up at that high point and let gravity feed it back to the hole.
Got it.
Is that making sense?
Yeah.
Now, I'll hit this putt just as an example. I want to show you something. So with the break of this putt, it's going to break the last couple of feet. So it's going to hold its line for a while.
Okay.
And it's not really going to break probably until the very end.
Yeah.
So notice right about now, see how it started moving left?
Yeah, I see.
See how it started breaking that way? So gravity has its biggest effect when the putt slows down. So basically when the putt goes the slowest is when the slope affects it the most. So with that concept in mind, dude, think of it like this. The slope you're most worried about is the one by the freaking hole, because that's the one that's going to affect the putt the most. Like imagine if we were putting from here to there, so like 30 or 40 feet, right?
Right.
And there was a big slope right here. Well, you're going to putt it so fast through that initial slope.
I get it.
Gravity's not going to touch it. It's not till it slows down that the slope really has an effect and it's going to curve a lot.
So that's why they be putting their feet more like
like
more
within
close to the hole.
6 feet of the hole. So
Got it.
really, like this break in here is irrelevant. It's not till that last like 10% of the putt. Let's say somewhere in here, when that putt starts to slow down, then that's when you're going to see all the break.
Now, how do you? But so it's basically like, how do you get good at knowing? Do I go here and it break? It's not like geometry almost.
Yeah. So
like this is where it tapers off. You know, like when they put those simulators on the putting, it'd be like a straight line and then it has that break off line. I try to. Once I saw that, it clicked with me. I was like, man, maybe if I visualize that, maybe I get halfway decent.
Yeah. So
like putt to that spot and then let the gravity take the rest.
Yes, exactly. I think that's a great idea. You're always aiming for the high point, and that's where your target's going to be, and then you'll just let it feed off of that line.
Gotcha.
And the high point you're concerned about is the one closest to the hole, not a high point back
Gotcha.
there. It's going to be irrelevant.
That makes
right?
sense. That
Now,
makes
in terms of knowing exactly where to aim,
Mhm.
that's just experience and trial and error. There's no like cheat sheet to aim in the perfect spot.
Gotcha.
You just have to play enough golfs to where you can learn how much slope is
I
going
got
to
you.
equal how much break.
Reps, yeah.
Now, here's something to think about with managing green reading.
Okay.
So we talked about when the ball rolls the slowest is when the break has the biggest effect, right?
Right.
Okay, so imagine you're at Washtenaw, the greens are fast, right?
Right.
And you have to hit the putt really slow, and it just keeps rolling and rolling and
Yeah,
rolling.
yeah.
Well, those greens break a lot because it's going slow the whole time. It's going to take every bit of the break. To where if you play on a really slow green,
Wow.
you got to hammer it to the
Yeah,
hole.
yeah.
It's not going to break that much because it's rolling so fast. Gravity won't affect it a lot.
Wow.
So, like with this
Okay.
slope here, for example, if we were at Washtenaw, so say it was Washtenaw speed, you would probably have to aim like here because it's going to take every bit of the slope. But with the speed of these greens, you probably only have to aim there because it's rolling faster and wouldn't break as much.
So let me see if I got this. So the faster the greens are, and they got a lot of slope, you aim further out.
Yeah, the more it's
Because you're
break.
going to be hitting it softer.
Yeah, so it's gonna
gravity going to take
exactly,
it more
or like
quicker.
exactly, or like a super downhill putt.
Yeah.
You have to like tap it and it just rolls
Right.
out a
Yeah,
lot.
yeah.
Those break a freaking ton because it's going so slow. It takes every bit of the break. Just like if you're straight uphill, you got to slam it to the hole.
Yeah.
Well, it's not going to move that much.
Yeah.
Because gravity doesn't touch it that much.
Got you. That's why they say aim more close, tighter on the hole on uphill putts.
Yes, exactly.
Got you.
So that's kind of like the green reading basics. Now, in terms of being good at green reading, you got to take these concepts and like practice them a bunch and basically play a lot of golf so you can look at a slope and know like, oh, okay, it's going to curve about that much because the speeds are at this, or the greens are at this speed.
Got it. So every course is going to be different.
So you got to calibrate to wherever the hell you're playing, which that's why putting is so hard,
And okay, but that's why you need to learn these concepts because now I know how to adjust to each.
Yeah.
Versus just saying, oh, it's fast. But no, it's more to it than just being fast. You got to have the knowledge to aim higher on faster greens.
Exactly.
If it got break.
100%.
Got you. Never thought of that.
Yeah.
Never thought of that. Wow. Let me hit one up this hill
Yeah.
here. I think I like that brown dot out there.
I think like the left side of that dead spot.
The left side? Okay.
Yeah, mine ended up left. So if you go at kind of at or just left of the dead spot. But I like what you're doing there, using the line and checking the line.
Yeah, I let the shaft run up through
Yeah.
it. Yeah. 30. Was it 30?
I think mid-30s, probably like 35 to 40 feet.
Now, here's the only thing you might not like that I do. Correct me.
Okay.
But when it's too far, like 60 foot, I gotta de-loft it, cause I just don't swing hard enough,
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. If you start de-lofting it,
just so I can shoot it out faster.
you're gonna risk having it bounce. Because when you de-loft it like this, you're kind of hitting it into the ground and might rebound back up and pop up.
Gotcha.
So I would encourage you, if you have a really long putt, just force yourself to swing bigger and faster. Don't start de-lofting it.
Okay.
I would never encourage that.
All right. I had to tell you though.
Yeah, your alignment is perfect, dude. Now you're just gonna use your best guess on how hard to hit it. Remember where your eyes should be?
Yep. Good.
Look
Good
at,
call.
Look at the dead spot. That's
good call,
your target.
Good call. Because I sure was looking at the hole. What am I looking at the hole for?
So yeah, when you do your rehearsals, you're looking at your target,
At the target.
which sometimes is the hole.
Sometimes,
But
yeah.
in this case, it's actually that dead spot.
That's pretty good.
Like we talked about, if you can get it within 3 feet
Yeah.
from that length, that's solid.
Let's go.
And
That's
you're
a tap in
You're
right
gonna
there.
make that next one every time. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So, yeah,
Gotcha.
that's
Gotcha.
very good.
They better give me that.
Let's try a different cut. Now that we already cleared this one,
Okay.
now I want you to read the putt on your own. So
Okay.
let's go. Here, let's go here to there. So check the elevation and check
All
the
right.
slope.
Check the elevation. Stand on the side.
Yep.
It's like hard down, and then this is kind of like a middle spot where it kind of
Yeah.
different.
And then it's hard down again past the hole, right? See, it kind of falls off this way.
Yeah.
So it's very key that you don't go too far by because it might feed all the way down there.
Right. Okay. So I got it. Now let me count these off.
What was that? 10 paces.
10.
Yes.
10 times 3.
30 feet.
So I'm gonna go. I'm thinking 30. I'm
And
gonna
then
go
now get
20.
behind the ball in line with the hole.
All right.
And try and guess which way you think it's breaking.
I'm gonna favor this side.
Yeah, I would agree. I would play this like a hair to the right. It's
Yeah.
not going to break much.
Yeah, I didn't
Maybe
feel it.
one cup.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, locked up.
He's going to fight 20.
And then obviously do the rehearsals, looking one cup to the right of the hole. You just misjudged how much to take off with the downhill,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Which you can't really blame yourself for that, right? Try it again. Try another one, and just line it up again, and just give it a little more speed.
They slow, man. You gotta hit this.
Yeah. So that was cool.
Oh, I pulled that one, didn't I? I got one more ball.
Now think of that as kind of unrelated to the speed, right? Like it's possible you could do that and get the speed perfect. Those are two entirely separate things.
Got it.
So you actually got the speed right, you just didn't get the direction of the stroke right.
I got one more shot. I ain't get the speed right. Did I get it right?
Now I didn't want to say anything because I was just curious to see what you were going to do, but you had that line pointed right at the hole. So you actually hit that perfectly down your line.
Oh.
You just didn't aim a ball right. You aimed right at it.
Oh, okay.
So your start line was actually good. And yeah, you misjudged the speed a little bit. Now, remember the speed drill, right? Like hit putts from 10, 20, 30.
Yeah.
Every 10 feet, give yourself 1 foot of error, you know? So if you were to format a putting practice, let's say you have 1 hour.
All right, talk to me.
Do the first 15 or 20 minutes on the mat to get the technique down. Then do 15 or 20 minutes working on speed control. And then do the last 15 or 20 minutes kind of like we're doing, just hitting random putts. Like lay the ball down, pace it off, read it, line it up, and putt it like you're actually on the golf course.
And if I miss it, should I go to another spot or just keep hitting that same one a couple times?
Up to you.
Up to me, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, but mix it up a little bit though.
Yeah, exactly. I want to hit the same putt 14 times.
Nah, I should be able to put this in though. Nah,
Yeah.
I got a knee knocker here.
Yeah.
I did it to myself. I got to make this,
Yep.
right? All right, let me go through this process.
Go through the process.
I don't got to look on the side because it's a short putt. I already know it's downhill.
It's a touchdown, yeah.
All right. I feel like I still need to favor this side.
Yeah, I like right edge with the speed of hitting it 6 inches past the hole.
Got you.
So like if you miss, it would go 6 inches by.
3
Yeah,
footer.
you're like 4 feet.
3-4 footer.
You got pretty big feet, so.
Yeah. So right edge.
Yeah, let me confirm that you actually have that line in the right spot. I just want to double check that because last time the line was off.
I got it right here.
Yeah, I have you like right on the inside part of the cup. Let's say
Show me where you
I
see
have it like right about here.
Okay, now hold on. Stay there.
Which I would play it there or a little more out than that actually.
That's why we use the face because it's more straight and accurate.
Oh, so you do like him? You do like this?
Yeah.
Yeah, I go behind it. Yeah.
That's why I do it.
And then try and get the shaft of the putter through the line on the ball. It should also run through whatever your target is, which in this case is like here.
Yeah.
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 So now that you got the line good, now go through the process, do your practice strokes, look at the right edge of the hole, visualize this putt, drop it in the cup. There it gets struck. No arm roll. Yeah, that was your best stroke of the day. That was no forearm like twist back and forth. You just let your shoulders rock back and through. You had no hand manipulation.
Yeah. Let's go.
That's probably the biggest thing for you to take away from today.
Okay. That's clutch.
That's gonna be
That was
freaking
the
key.
key.
That's gonna be key.
Yes. Bro, I just saved card, bro. I just saved card. Let's go.
Sir.